Hi guys, it's me, Trudy Lee. How's everybody doing? Today, I've been guided to talk to you guys about letting your inner beauty and your authentic self shine through, even when you're going through difficulties. And we're talking about difficulties with people that you really love, uh, your your life partner, husband's wife, your relationships. So, we all go through these rough patches with the person that we're committed to. And if you're finding yourself going through this challenging time, you're at the right place. Please continue to listen to this video. I appreciate you guys. But first, if you don't want to hear me talk about my life, you can just skip ahead to the guidance. But there's a lot of people here that I've connected with, and I really want to tell them what's going on with my life. So pardon me if you're new to my channel. Welcome and thank you so much. If this isn't interesting to you, just skip ahead, okay? So first I'm going to talk about what's been happening in my life, my husband and what's going on. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. Are y'all getting your menus already? Everything prepared for Thanksgiving? Some of y'all are going to travel. They say that this is going to be a really big traveling Thanksgiving. Lots of people have decided to go see their loved ones, and that's wonderful. But for me, I'm having Thanksgiving here. I always cook. We always have a smoked turkey, so I don't really have to cook a turkey. I just heat it up. But usually my son-in-law, he used to cook a turkey and bring it also. But now that my daughter divorced him, there's always room at our table for him. We love him so much and we miss him. But last year he opted not to come. It was the first time and it was so painful. But he's always welcome here. And anyway, I've made my menu. It's all planned out. And it's basically the same thing. It's probably the same thing with you guys. You have the same menu. Everybody's looking forward to the things that, are familiar. The only thing different that I might add is like I might decide to try a new dessert. And this year I'm trying this chocolate pie. I know my daughter's bringing something really chocolatey too. So there'll be two things that are chocolate. But my grandkids really like chocolate a lot. And then we have a lot of like pumpkin pie. We'll have probably apple pie, pecan pie, and things like that. Banana pudding. Got to have banana pudding, right? So we'll have a lot of things like that. So I decided to add something more chocolatey, and just to please them a little bit. And then of course my granddaughters are coming home from New York. One goes to school there, and one just lives there because she'd been there before and she wanted to move back. And she moved there, and I guess in August they moved back up there, and she's ready to come home. She's she's done with New York, with living in New York. So she's ready to come home. She went to school in Austin, so she really wants to move back to Austin. We live about an hour away from Austin, I guess. So she's looking forward to moving back here. And she has a dog, a Doberman, in New York City. So she's had to live with the Doberman. She has to walk it, several times a day. And it's probably very challenging for her to have to take care of the dog living in New York City. But you know what? It's really funny. That dog has gotten 2 modeling jobs in New York City. 2. So she's up for the next one. She did one, and the way they paid her was they paid her in, I don't know, all these pet treats and the things that they're selling, they gave her for free. So, and then she's going to do another modeling job, which she's going to get paid for. So that's really exciting. So that'll end because she's going to be leaving New York. So they're coming home. My other granddaughter's at Vassar. They're traveling home. She has to go to school till Monday, and they're driving back home because she's moving back, and she's packed up her car, and they're going to be driving home. They'll be home by Wednesday. And my granddaughter, her birthday's on Thanksgiving. She was born on Thanksgiving, and this year it falls on Thanksgiving again. On the 23rd, she's turning 23 years old. Isn't that cool? On Thanksgiving. So she has requested a 7-layer cookie bar for her birthday, because I always make cookies. Whosever birthday it is, I'll make them cookies. And I asked her a couple days ago, I was talking to her and I said, well, what kind of cookies do you want this year? And she said, I want the 7-layer cookie bar. And I'm like, oh, that is good because that's easy to bake. You don't have to bake cookies, bunch of batches. So this will bake at one time and it'll be done. And then my other granddaughter said, I want banana bread. So I'm going to have a whole week of baking and cooking for Thanksgiving, get their stuff ready, bring it to their mom's house. So when they get there, it'll already be there. And then the next day will be, when they come in, it'll be Thanksgiving. So we're going to be all ready for that. So I'm really excited and looking forward to that. And my granddaughters, they were telling me, since they've been there since August, on the weekends, they'll do little trips, and they've gone to every state on the East Coast. And last weekend, I think they went to Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine. So they had a long weekend and they visited all the states. And they were saying that New Hampshire was so beautiful. It's fall. It's a beautiful time. If you guys live there, I envy you. Everything is green. I'm looking out at from the back of my deck. I can look out and there's maybe a little bit of orange here or there. Very few. We need a few more cold snaps to change the leaves on the trees here. So it's still pretty green here. Oh, I wanted to tell y'all, I can't believe it. This morning, y'all know that fig tree that froze? My huge, beautiful fig tree in the back here. It has come back so nicely this summer. I mean, it is probably 10 feet tall now. That's how much it's grown. It's amazing. 9 or 10 feet tall, something like that. It's come back beautifully. It produced figs and everything, even though it's just a little tree, but it's come back wonderfully. And we're so excited about it. And we're going to really take care of it this winter, make sure that we cover it if it gets ice cold again, and make sure that it doesn't, freeze. This morning, something tore the tree down, dug all the dirt up. I mean, this was a big old branch, tore it down and everything. And we think it's a boar. So we have a boar coming into our yard. Can you believe that? And our poor fig tree, it can't catch a break. It was so sad. But the biggest trunk is still left. But it did tear down a part of the trunk. It's so sad. And my husband put some wiring around it, so that if he comes back, hopefully he won't be able to get to it. I want to see it. I want to video it. I'm going to be looking for that boar. So now that he knows there's figs on the tree, he might be coming back. So, wow, I can't believe that. But there's wildlife all around here. We have deer. And at first I said, well, maybe a deer did it, but it's so thick. The branch was so thick that it tore down. And it dug up the tree kind of like. So deers don't really do digging like that, I think. Anyway. Hopefully he'll move on to somewhere else. I mean, I would like to see him, but I don't want him to mess up our whole yard and get the fig tree, poor fig tree. So yesterday, my husband had a doctor's appointment. He'd been feeling really dizzy lately, and he went to his regular cardiologist, and the cardiologist suggested that he reduce his metoprolol. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's a beta blocker. I have read all about it, and it is a horrible, horrible drug. I mean, there are so many side effects. There are so many people that hate taking this drug and had a hard time getting off from it. And I mean, I know that some people, need medicine for their blood pressure or, to regulate their heart. Maybe it works for them. But there are a huge amount of people, I would say 50% or more people said that they had horrible side effects from it. And the cardiologist suggested that my husband reduce his metoprolol to 25 milligrams a day. He was taking it twice a day, one in the morning, one in the evening. And he said, let's start weaning you off this metoprolol. And you can't just get off from it because your heart will go wacky. It'll just go crazy. You can't just suddenly stop it. So anyway, he's been doing that for a month, probably, if not even maybe 6 weeks. You know how the doctor, they'll just tell you something and then there's no follow up. You're supposed to be weaning off from it. He didn't tell him, to in a month or 6 weeks go to, half that. So it's just like in 6 months you're going to go see him again and he's going to tell you what to do. Anyway, he ordered a heart monitor for my husband. So they monitored his heart for 1 week. And we got the results back and they said that there was a pause. That a couple of times there was a pause in his heart and that he needed to go see the cardiologist that puts in pacemakers. So that's who we were going to see yesterday. So Sunday night, we did not get any sleep at all. I mean, I don't know what happened. I wasn't really feeling nervous or worried about it. And he said he wasn't nervous or either. Neither one of us could sleep at all. Not at all. So, we had an appointment for 9:30 in the morning. We were there super early because we were ready to go and get this over with. And they did an EKG right there. And they said that he has like an extra heartbeat. Like every few beats, there's an extra beat. So this doctor told him to get completely off the metoprolol. Now, I had told my husband about a week ago or 10 days ago, get off metoprolol. After I read all about it and I read everything and how to get off from it and everything, and I said, you need to start reducing your metoprolol. You need to cut it in half and take half a pill. And he did that and his heart felt a little funny and it scared him and he started taking the whole 25 milligram again. But it's a withdrawal symptom that people that have been on that medication for a long time are going to feel. So this doctor told him the same thing. He said, cut your pill in half, take half a pill for a week, and then stop it. Just don't take any more. He said, if you feel the need, you can take a quarter of the pill for a couple of days and then get off from it. So whatever. So that's what he's supposed to do. And then after he gets that out of his system, which that doctor thinks that it'll be out of his system in a couple of days, but I have read saying that it is in your system for months. It is, to get it completely out. So anyway, he's going to have another monitor and see after the metoprolol is, finished and done with, to see how his heart is acting without that medication. And then they're going to do an echocardiogram in January. So he didn't seem like super worried about it. And he basically answered all my questions before I could even answer them. And he told, my husband to get off metoprolol, which I was going to ask him if he could get off metoprolol. I didn't even have to ask him. So anyway, we were there and that's what happened. So y'all send your prayers and healings to my husband. Hopefully his heart will start straightening out, I know a lot of people live with irregular heart rhythms and, that doesn't mean it's anything bad. So hopefully he won't ever have to have a pacemaker because he really doesn't want one and I don't want him to have one either. But, whatever is needed, he'll do it because he really believes in medicine. You guys, I've lost 9 pounds. I'm off sugar. I'm off, everything, all the white stuff. I'm off from all of that. No prepackaged foods. So I've been eating very healthfully and lost 9 pounds. And it's been fine. I haven't really had that hard of a time doing it or anything. And I just wish my husband would do that too. I just wish he would, try to eat healthy. He eats a lot of sugar, a lot of breads and everything. And he loves to have, he craves something sweet. And that's what happens when you're eating a lot of carbs and stuff. You have cravings for sweets. So I just wish he would eat more healthfully. I can't control him though. I don't buy him sweets. He buys himself sweets because we go to the store together. And, I can't tell him what to eat. So, he likes his rice. He eats a lot of carbs, you guys, a lot. He's not heavy or anything, but he's got that visceral fat in his stomach, that's pushing on the organs and all. And I'm sure that affects your heart too. So just pray that he'll have the courage to get on a diet and stick to it. Just get sugar out of them. I told him, I said, you don't want a pacemaker. You need to stop eating this sugar and these carbs like this. So maybe that will have an effect on him. I hope so. So you guys, is it nice and cold where you're at? Is it getting chilly? It's been a little bit cooler here today. I can see it's 69 degrees. So it's been cool. It's been nice. We haven't had to have the air conditioner on or anything. And we're going to get another cold front, I think, this next week. They say for Thanksgiving that it's going to be pretty chilly. So that's nice. A lot of the times we'll get a cold front right before Thanksgiving, and then we'll have our air conditioner on. But it looks like this Thanksgiving, it's going to be kind of cold. It's feeling good. I love it. I really love it. Anyway, and Addie Cat, she's doing really good. I slept so good last night because we hadn't slept, the night before. My head hit the pillow and I was out last night. I mean, out. I didn't even have any dreams or anything. But I slept so deeply that I woke up at 4:30. Do you ever do that when you're like, you had such a powerful sleep? I woke up at 4:30 and I was like done. And Addie Cat was in the middle between me and Johnny. Since it's a little bit chilly now, she's coming on the bed and she has her own blanket. So she'll lay on her blanket. She'll suckle her blanket. She's so funny. She's like a baby. So she'll suckle her blanket and then I'll cover her up with her blanket. And she tucks her head down into the blanket. So I know she's cold because she's putting her face into the blanket. Anyway, so yeah, she's doing good. Really, really good. I love her so much. She's so beautiful. Okay, that's enough of what's going on with me in my life. So let's talk about this guidance that I got this morning. So I was inspired to talk about people that are going through difficult times in relationships. And, a lot of times when I'm doing readings for people, I'll get the question, and I'm sure y'all have had this question before. What's my purpose? What's my job? What is my life for? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I on the right path? And your job or your purpose in your life is to enjoy this journey. Enjoy it. Even when it becomes challenging, you're supposed to be enjoying that. Now, not every day of our life is easy, of course. We all go through difficulties. So you're probably saying to yourself right now, well, you don't know how it is to live with my wife or my husband. It can be a real to live with. Yeah. Maybe you're thinking they're so rude and obnoxious. You don't understand. It's hard to enjoy my life. But if you could just change your perspective just a little bit and reach for joy, everything would turn around. Things would change. It really would. Now, it does take time to do this, but you can do it. And you can see changes very quickly, but for things to change in a big way, it might take a little bit more time. Your interaction with your partner has energy. It has a frequency, right? So if you're at work and you're talking about your spouse, well, we had this fight and he said this or she did this, and you know what I mean? You're bringing that frequency to life. And then when you go home, you're emitting this frequency. And even if you go home and you act cheerful, but you have this frequency, your mate, your spouse, your partner is going to pick up on that. They're going to meet that frequency that you're vibrating at, right? Now, if you've been talking about how this person makes you miserable, they're going to make you miserable some more. They're going to meet your frequency. So you have to be really careful. And the way that you turn this around is you have to do some work. You have to be committed to do some work, lifting that person up in joy. So you married this person or you committed your life to this person's for good times and bad, for better or worse, right? So focus on all the joyful memories you guys have made together, all the wonderful experiences that you've had with your partner. Appreciate who they are. Appreciate all the things that you've gone through together. You could just start thinking the good things about your partner. maybe your partner's a good mother, a good father, a great lover, a good cook, has a great sense of humor. There's someone that you can count on, somebody that you can trust, somebody that you can share your dreams with. Think of all the things that your partner does for you, not just for you, but just does in general, right? Like, you don't have to do them because you know your partner's going to do it. Maybe he goes and gets the car fixed. Maybe he gets the oil changed or gets the inspection stickers or, changes a flat tire or goes and has a tires rotated, whatever. When you need some muscle, there's your husband. Hey, you need to move this for me, or can you pick this up for me, right? There's small little things that you really start taking each other for granted, basically. And you need to really change your mind and think about all the good things that they're good at, that they participate in on a daily basis that maybe you're just taking for granted. So maybe he's great at grilling meat outside, barbecuing. He's a great father. He's very loving. He's kind. Whatever you can come up with that's positive about your partner, about this person that you fell in love with and committed your life to, start making a list of all the positive attributes to this person, right? Maybe he's a wonderful son. He takes great care of his mother. Think about, there's so many things that you can think of. And with your wife, just think of your wife, think of that beautiful smile. Um, See how she's so caring and loving, how she keeps your home clean. Make sure you have clean clothes. There's all kinds of little things that she does every day. Maybe drops the children off at daycare. And you have to stop and think about, for a mother that has to go and drop her child off at daycare every single day, you don't know how that feels as a mother to have to do that. Now, in this day and age, it takes two incomes to make it a lot of the time. So it's something that's necessary and that she has to work. But think about how she's feeling by leaving her child at daycare. You really need to try to walk in somebody else's shoes. So a different perspective. You really need to focus on that. It's hard to, just walk away from your child and entrust your child to somebody else every day. It's really tough. She laughs at your silly jokes. She goes shopping to make sure you have food in your home, probably cooks for you. So honor your partner by remembering all the things that they do to make your life more enjoyable. So, I know we go through frustrating times. We get mad. We say things we don't mean. We're hurtful to one another. And we want to sit in that hurt and think about all the mean things that were said or done. You have to change your perspective and start thinking about this person, the person that you fell in love with, and how you two can enjoy your life together. So meditate on why you fell in love with your partner. And remember about making love passionately, holding hands. Remember when you couldn't get enough of each other. Keep that frequency in your heart, right? So when your spouse starts complaining about something and you respond with this love frequency, even if she's, or he is getting on your nerves a little bit, keep that love frequency and it will stop that negativity in its tracks. And maybe at first your partner will resist and they'll be like thinking, what's going on with you? And another thing that you have to remember is maybe your spouse overwhelmed, overworked, feeling unappreciated, and you're just a safe place to lash out. That's unfortunate, but a lot of times we take advantage of the people that we love and we just lash out at them because we know they'll take it. So hold their hand. Tell them, I don't want to fight with you. I've decided to live a joyful life. and I want you to be joyful with me. So invite them to commit to living joyfully. Now, at first, your partner's going to be like, what the heck are they trying to pull? You know, they may not go for it. You might have to do this a few times, but I'll tell you, it will they'll finally be interested in knowing what's going on and how you're doing this. And they'll want to participate in it, okay? They'll want to get with the program. So, you know, when they're trying to argue with you, just gently remind them, I'm choosing joy. Do you want to choose joy with me? You might have to remind them, you know. They might say, no, I'm going to be angry. And then you can say, okay, I'm going to be joyful. You go ahead and be angry. And it's really hard to argue with yourself and be angry with yourself. So, you know, another thing that you can do is when you invite them and ask them to be joyful with you, you can say, you know, be joyful with me, please. I'm sorry for anything and everything that I haven't done right. Please forgive me. And please don't ever run out of forgiveness, because I'm going to need it. I'm not perfect. You're going to have to forgive me time after time after time, just like I'm willing to forgive you time after time, you know. But I'm committed to live a joyful life with you. Marriage takes work. It really does, but it's worth it. So if you feel like you need more help with your marriage, if you need a little more counseling, I would be glad and happy to do a reading for you. And I also am open to counseling with you over the phone if you need a phone call. I've opened myself up to that. I'm a shy person, so this is a new step for me. But because of things that I went through with somebody recently, and you know who you are, thank you. It's nudging me to go into that direction. And you know, things happen for a reason. And I did a counseling over the phone with this person, and it was very constructive, I think, for both of us. So it gave me confidence that I know that I can be helpful to another person, and it also was, you know, I got a good response from that person. So if you would like counseling, guidance, and I'm telling you, it's not just from me, it's from Spirit. This comes from Spirit. So before the phone call, I would exactly know what we're going to talk about. So you would come to me and say, I have this issue, I need some guidance, and I would ask my Spirit team about it. And then I'll present that to you, the guidance that they have for you, okay? And then, of course, I always am moved to tell my experiences too, because, you know, I've gone through a lot, and Spirit will say, well, you know, give them a little a taste of what you've been through, and that kind of helps a little bit. So if you're interested in a counseling session, it would be about 30 minutes. I guess I could go an hour or two also. So just let me know. Look down below. There's my email. If you would like a phone counseling session, a reading, if you'd just like a Celtic cross reading, a love reading, or if you would like a healing session, I can do that too. And I think that actually everything goes hand in hand. No matter what you do, I think a healing session is perfect to end any session with. So, I would be happy to do a healing session for anybody. So if you have somebody that is experiencing any kind of health challenges, I'm happy to do a healing session for them, okay? All right. All right, guys, do something kind for somebody. It'll always come back to you. I'll talk to you soon. Y'all take care, and bye for now.